What's up, y'all? I am back. Hopefully, this records at the correct speed. I think the actual video camera the camcorder may be operate at a faster speed than what YouTube can pick up. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Anyways, it's all good. We work with what we got, and we do the best with that. So with this concluding of taking the brakes off, one of the first things that I am doing is in conjunction with my creator game, which I had mentioned in my first post, uh, is to speed up or to open up and to stop trying to slow my uh, I don't know if progress is the right word, but slow my experiences so I can have a little bit of control over how fast things are happening, even that when that may be more of an impediment than something that is assisting me in doing what I want to do. So, what I'm going to do is to actually go and include y'all in part of what I'm working on with my game. And with my creator game, I am working on on perfecting my poetry feature. So what I'm doing is I am uh, creating a whole show. So whenever I have a request to do a feature for a show, instead of just kind of winging it and doing a poetry lineup and just kind of doing it, I actually have a show that has a concept and a pre-formatted flow to it as far as what poems and whatever else I want to incorporate into it. So it'll be an actual show. And I think I know it would take me to a whole next level. It's weird. I have always performed. My mother started putting me and my sister Latifah in front of audiences. We were like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old, and she had us reciting poems and singing songs and stuff like that. And what's really interesting about that was, although I've always performed and I've been doing this since I was a little girl and really, really enjoyed it, and was pretty good at it. There was this definite understanding as far as how I was raised that, Muslims just, we totally um, look down on Hollywood and entertainment and media and entertainment industry as the ultimate evil, ultimate shaitan, and so on and so forth. I'm not saying that they aren't kind of evil and do play the role of shaitan. I'm not saying that that was totally inaccurate. But the point was that we were supposed to not find it interesting, not find it attractive, to deny it, and definitely not desire to pursue a career in entertainment. Not to mention the fact that the whole industry directly was diametrically opposed to whatever or how we were supposed to live as far as how we were taught as Muslims. And so, on the one hand, I've always performed, and as time goes on, and I've really kind of allowed myself to acknowledge my talents, and one of them is the lovely art of entertainment. Um, it's been this constant struggle just from this, I don't know, brainwashing, I guess you could say, as far as me to fully acknowledge my love of entertainment and my love of performing, and to even more so um, allow myself to fully express myself in front of an audience or a crowd. I mean, even still in the back of my mind, I encountered that program out. This isn't Islamic and this isn't acceptable, and your parents aren't going to approve of this. And what will the Muslim community say? And what will people think? And I've been working on this and working on this and working on this, and it still comes up after all this time. That was some serious programming. I really, really decided to make that true and to kind of influence my life, even though I've deliberately decided to leave that behind because it was so confining and did not allow the possibility of me fully being myself. So that being said, I have for the longest have been putting off really dedicating myself to fully developing my poetry performance craft, my spoken word art form. I think that there's some pretty interesting and pretty phenomenal things I can do with it. And I've just decided deliberately to not ever do it, to kind of take it as a hobby, to kind of do bullshit performances. They were decent, they were entertaining. My poetry's pretty good, I think. My delivery's pretty good. I was constantly being asked to do features. I think the audiences enjoy my work, but you know when you're giving something your best and put some real energy and effort into it and what we're capable of, and I've never done that. So now I'm committing myself to that, and this is, as of yet, the most challenging thing that I've done so far because it forces me to take everything that I'm doing and go to the whole next level, and that's going public with me being myself. So, in a way, I'm very grateful for my experience and my orientation and my background and my history and how I was raised and even my programming because it really fostered this desire in me to reconnect with who I authentically am and to share that and to acknowledge the fact that most of the rest of us are hiding the true extent of our talents and our abilities, and usually it's for similar reasons. What will other people think? Other people's approval is within societal acceptable society norms, expectations. As a female, there are even more things she gonna be a hoe, or people gonna look down on her and not respect her, and so on and so forth. And then we have these religious restrictions and parental expectations, and so all these other things that we choose to go and use to identify what we do and do not do. So, one of my primary things that drives me is as I go and liberate myself from these things is to create a space where as I'm doing that myself, I in a way give other people permission to go and do what they're really supposed to do and do it to its fullest extent and don't hold anything back. So I'm going to do something that is really taking the brakes off for me, and that's share with you the process as I go through developing my show. Now, the name of my show, or the concept of my show, and I'm going to go into more detail in the next couple of days, is called Naked Thoughts Striptease, where I bare mind, body, and soul. And it's not an actual complete striptease, but is a tease. It will involve some stripping. No. But anyway, so the idea is once again, even out of the same energy that Naked Thought comes out of, and that's really just stripping away all the layers and just bearing the essential me to the world and to myself. And so I have this whole concept. I've been watching the musical Chicago, and they have the whole showgirl theme. So I'm gonna have my costume and which items am I actually gonna strip. It's all I have my gloves and I already decided I'm gonna do the gold metallic gloves, Evelyn gloves, and my gold metallic snakeskin boots and fishnets and some really simple, really sexy dress that has a kind of cover up. And I don't know, I got these badass sunglasses or a mask or something crazy. It's going to be totally funky though. And the poetry is just going to be the poetry. So I don't believe you should include too many theatrics in poetry. But I'm going to do a show, and I'm going to share with y'all the show and reveal that to y'all. And that's going to be me taking my breaks off. So that concludes this. I have about 2 seconds left. So